fix your itinerary and all that. So right now, you also have watched the newspaper headlines being reeled out, and I do hope that you can sit back now for a few minutes while my guest takes charge of things substantially as we look at a number of the headlines. One of them that's in most of the papers has to do with the Eke naval officer face-off that happened 2 days ago. It's looking like fouled air that's refusing to fizzle out. Yeah, when it did happen that day, many Nigerians raised eyebrows on both sides. Many people said, well, the boy was on an illegal, was upholding an illegal order. But at the same time, they quickly put in that even the Federal Capital Territory Minister also didn't quite do well, because how do you go to the point of using abusive language on people, particularly people who are security officers, a commissioned officer, someone who represents a sacrifice, someone who represents discipline, someone who, if you look at it thoroughly, like some people have analyzed, he doesn't really have, he's just doing his job. Yeah, but I hope that my guest will take it over from here so that we can have some more light where there are gray issues or where the patch is dark. Yeah, my guest this morning is Chukwunalu Eke. For quite some time, you've seen him with me, and I do hope that you've enjoyed every bit of him. And that's who we have today again. Chukwunalu, no. Okay, yours is Ajay. Okay. No, but you are the one to say Ajay. No, okay.
No, I say Ajay to you.
To me, yes. Yes. Then I say
you are older.
Yes. Then I now say
Odule.
Oh, no, there's another one.
No, Odule is to man, or Wesu is to woman.
All right. Okay. So that's the beauty of the different languages. Just said again, one of the items on the headlines this morning says mother tongue policy in education has been outlawed by this current administration. We'll get to that. Now, so how do you see the Wike Yerima altercation? What's your take on it?
Okay,
and especially now the angle that former generals are angry
coming
about
out
what's happening.
I think one thing in Nigeria that we do is we celebrate mediocrity. The Wike is the minister of FCT. He's just my equivalent to a governor, or if I will say like mayor of this city, and he has every right. He's the landlord, and so many people are not looking at the backstory to the story. We are just looking at the altercation between him and Yerima. I think Nigerians should stop doing that. We should look at what actually was wrong before Wike got there, because if you look at the backstory, we are told that the FCD officials were there earlier on before Wike got, and they didn't allow them to do their job. And when you look at all the paper from what we are now hearing, that the general got the land illegally, or is a green area where they are trying to build duplexes on. It's a green area, what we call garden land, and they are now converting it to an estate whereby they want to build duplexes, and the FCD officials went there to do their job. But due to the normal Nigerian mentality, if you are a military person or if you are a uniform person, you use your force to to say, okay, you can't enter. And in same country, I believe the former chief of naval staff cannot do what they did by acquiring an illegal land in the first place. Now coming to where people are now arguing whether Wike is right, Yerima was right, facing, yes, he might be right. Yes, I love his composure, being a gallant military officer, but at the same time, that job, that thing he was doing is actually illegal. in the first place, he was not posted there to man the place. I think the order he was doing it just like because he's protecting his boss. I think the protection or the other word was meant to guide or be a bodyguard to the former chief of naval staff.
Yeah, but he couldn't have gotten there without the former chief asking him to go there.
Yes, of course.
Now, I think that we need to look at this angle very seriously. If you look at the command and control structure of the military, you will damage that institution if anybody can come and vacate an order that was duly given, duly, quote and unquote. As far as the officer is concerned, as far as the Yerima is concerned, he got an order from a superior officer, and that's the tradition in the military. You get an order, and until it is vacated by the proper person, you can't see. I think that this clash was unnecessary. At that point, I think that the
is he protecting Nigeria's integrity at that point?
No, wait. I'm saying that it's wrong. It's an illegal order. But at that point, vacating that order did not rest with Wike or with him, as far as I'm concerned.
That is where the military. The military people now comes in. Which Wike did the right thing by calling the chief of defense staff. We saw the clips where he called the chief of defense staff. So to a point, with what you're saying now, Wike was right at a point in time, calling the chief of defense staff.
Yes.
And that one gave his advice. Probably they will solve it in a military, or political.
Maybe they will solve it in a way that is not that shouldn't have degenerated to that, apparently.
Yes, but in the first place, the minister of FCT says, "I want to enter this land."
Agreed.
You understand? He's the minister of FCT. To a point, I believe that minister also have rights to tell.
Definitely. I think that it's an understanding of each other's. You know how they say that your right ends where
others
my own.
Yes.
So the government must harmonize their operations. This is not too good because it's government versus government.
Even in that video, you will see where Yerima was telling a police officer that you are my junior, keep quiet.
Well,
probably if you
because in the military you can't. That's what he is doing.
The thing is that what Yerima was doing is it a naval officer, because he's a naval, not really army, but he's military. Is he a military work?
No, see, when people say it's a naval officer and it's not a, I think that we need to be a lot.
No, that job.
Does it mean that they live on water?
No, that
does
supposed to be on water.
Does it mean that they live on water for 65 days a year?
No, of course there will be some.
So that's, I think that there will be some. When I hear that, I feel somehow about people who say that, oh, he's enough. So what's he doing on land? I specifically heard that.
Yes, yeah. What is he doing? A lieutenant, what is he doing on land?
On land.
He's supposed to be at the creek in Niger Delta to go and guide all the coastal area. We have issue of piracy. That's where they should be.
So they will all be there.
The administrative staff, the administrative people can be in Abuja. You remember when we came into Abuja, there was ship house here. Nigeria MPA headquarters was here. And Obasanjo ordered them back. Where is the water here that you people are here? Go back to Lagos. You understand? So that's how it's supposed to be.
If I remember, ship house is defense headquarters.
No, that was originally Nigerian Port Authority's office.
All right, okay. Because as far as I'm concerned,
yes, that's what it was after Obasanjo ordered MPA out. They gave it to the military.
Defense.
Defense. So what I'm saying is that what Yerima did supposed to be police work.
Well, a whole lot of all this. For me, a whole lot of all this. I hope that government can harmonize their operations. Because again, part of the concern, if everybody does their job well, there won't be all this interference.
Yes.
But if you have a feeling that if I let this person do it, it will not be done well. If you have ever delegated your work to someone and it fails, you don't get encouraged to go back to the same person. Many times you'd rather even do it yourself.
What I saw there,
it can be frustrating when there's no effective delegation.
What I saw there is just a show of power. It tells you how. It tells you how people.
That element.
Yes, how all the people in uniform has been acquiring land in Abuja, using power to, and when you want to, enforce.
This is funny. This is funny because if you want to begin to limit that to the military, then you begin to open up a Pandora box, because even as we speak, there are still controversies concerning the FCT minister himself about land he acquired somewhere, whether in life camp and all that, where land, even the proper payment was not given. Is that not in the public domain?
Yeah, it's in the public domain. Yes.
So you see, it's very difficult for you to point a finger when there are, so I think that those are the issues. And then now the ex-generals are fuming. Let's look at that part of it.
There is nothing to fume about that. It's just in Nigeria we have military mentality. That is just all because majority of us, a larger population, or don't let me say larger population now, or a lot of us grew up during military regime, and that's idea of military system way of doing things have not really get out of us despite over 20 something years.
Do you think so? Because
yes,
because the last military regime now was about 20 what years
25 years, 26 years,
yes, that's a quarter of a century.
Yes, but we still have this element of military way of doing so. You can imagine somebody saying that the boy have the right to tell Wike you're a bloody civilian. Why? It's because we have military mentality.
No,
we still have,
but at least let's give credit to the guy. He didn't descend that.
Yes, that low. Yes,
because there are boys in the military who would have descended very badly based on the fact that the minister called him a fool. See, as far as I'm concerned, I'm saying there can be proper ways of dealing with issues. Number one, it didn't really require the minister being there. I don't think so.
No, the backstory
physically being there.
No, the backstory says there are different ways. The backstory says
there are different ways. I'm saying it's not
the FCD officials. The FCD officials were there earlier on, probably in the morning.
Yes,
they didn't allow them entry. Then they called. They said, okay,
let's look at it this way. Was it possible, with the feedback from his officials, is it possible for the minister to have just from his office called the CDS?
Okay, I want to when El-Rufai,
is it possible?
Yes, it's possible. But I want to tell you, when El-Rufai,
we don't need all the drama.
When El-Rufai wanted to started the demolitions in Abuja back then.
Yes.
You see that Accra Street in Zone 5.
Yes.
Or that garden, that spot.
That generated a whole lot of.
Yes. During that period, there were duplexes. The whole of that garden, up to this junction towards to PDP
the headquarters.
Yes, there were duplexes there, and El-Rufai himself came there. El-Rufai. So are you not saying that? Why did El-Rufai?
No.
With Obasanjo came.
I'm not saying.
Obasanjo came.
We can understand this. I hope we can understand this. I'm saying, with or without his presence there, the job can still be done.
Okay,
that's one. Two, with him there, that exchange is very unfortunate as far as I'm concerned. It is very unfortunate. How do you descend by the capacity of the Federal Capital Territory minister? How did you descend to when I finished school, you had not been born? What's that?
No, I'm sure. There were some things might have gone.
There was it's
not all the clip you will have. I'm sure And another thing is there's people's mannerism way of talking, and even the military, they do worse than that on a normal day-to-day conversation.
Very good, but
I'm sure the boy, the Lieutenant Yerima was just giving respect to Wike. If it were to be like somebody he would have said something worse than what Wike said.
Exactly, and that would have messed it up.
Yeah,
that would have escalated the entire thing.
In the whole thing, you will see that after Wike finished speaking, look at the way he was reacting to the staffs, those people that came with Wike. You look at the clips very well. I think so. You will see the way he was reacting to them. It's not, but he was, because he recognized Wike, that Wike is the minister of FCT and he's older, and he was respecting
which
him.
is proper.
But look at the other police officer that he insulted.
maybe
look at the other officers.
We'll keep on.
So let's forget about the films by the films by the generals.
There are several parts to it, but you have said that they have nothing to fume about.
Yes,
but for me, I think that I really would like to look at one or two things. If you check, some of these generals hardly veer into public issues.
Yes, because of discipline.
Because of discipline. So if they are now speaking, I think that that's something that somebody, Nigerians, I'm sure, understand that it was wrong to put a soldier in that place, or to stop the minister from getting fantastic. But so do we. So if what we're saying is, if he believed that he had the physical ability to beat up that boy, he probably would have rolled up his sleeves.
Yes, Wike would have Wike would have done that. So
So is that the kind of thing that we want?
No. So now, as the generals, they are coming together.
I think that we need to.
No, we Nigerians.
Generally, we need to work on how we conduct ourselves. Even when we see power, when you have power, it should even be more. It's easier to, with a soft, it's more beautiful. That's panache, that you even talk gently, but he carries weight, than that you want to be seen to be. You don't have to do that. See, this case was a clear case of violation of the rules by the military, blah blah blah. But you didn't have to mess up the waters. Constitutionally, get to the point where you are now shouting at the boy, and you are now telling him he's a fool, and you are telling him, when he was in the mother's womb, you were already going to Canada. You don't have to do that.
You say this thing is a two-way thing. Yes, I understand being a public officer.
There should be some decorum.
But at the same time, if you see,
we must thank God for how that matter just went down. You had soldiers on this side. You had police on this side,
and the soldier will shoot.
Supposing something,
who ordered them to shoot?
No. Supposing one person got somebody carrying a gun is a dangerous person.
That's why I said in Nigeria now this is a
somebody could flip on either side.
This is a test. With what happened is a test of our constitution.
If somebody suddenly flips, there heads could roll.
It should tell us how we should, the rules of engagement.
That's what I'm saying. So they really need to harmonize their operation.
Not only harmonize, everybody should know their place. That's the whole point of the harmonization. That is where I am supporting Wike in this matter. The army, the military should know their place. Anytime I see any military officer controlling traffic, it pains me.
Wrong.
It's wrong. I will
but that's what we have come to live with.
So why can't we change that?
Exactly.
Why should we see a military officer on the road doing bodyguards to certain people?
Okay, very good. Now let's look at this scenario you have just brought in. So if you find a soldier on the road directing traffic who has been sent there by the system, would it be right for you to come down from a vehicle and say, "What are you doing here?"
If I have let's assume I'm the police IG now, the Inspector General of the police, I can do that.
And he says he says he was sent here by his chief of army staff.
Then as the Inspector General, if I am the Inspector General or Commissioner of Police, I will say, okay, call the person that sent you here, and I want you people to leave, because this is my domain.
Well, that's not what happened that day. Well, I think we need to make progress, because we can't spend the entire time on this.
This is my domain. This is my constitutional responsibility. It's police that's supposed to be doing the traffic thing.
I do hope that our viewers are in on this and are willing to weigh in. The number remains the same, 08029938365. Should I take that again? 08029938365. Now, so please do call in, and we're willing to take your calls. so that we can do this together. Maybe the next one we should be looking at is the request by editors for tax exemptions and low cost loans to assist the media sector to bring about some like revamp, a revival of that sector, because indeed it's one sector that's under tremendous pressure and is a huge, very important part of our national life, even as the president has acknowledged. And so let's take a look at that. And for now, it looks like the president is giving a listening ear. Whether that listening ear is just for the conference to pass, or whether that will really be taken seriously and considered, we will see that in the days to come, right?
Yeah, for me, I have to be very careful here, but I just hope that what they are asking for is not a tactical brand envelope from the presidency, because 2027 is coming, you know. But it's fine, it's a good call, because media business is business, and if you look at, apart from one particular newspaper that has been there since 1949, you hardly see a media house that is 200 years, 300 years in Nigeria, you know. Or
whereas you have those kind.
Yes, we have in other climes.
Yeah.
So I think what the core is a good one, and let the president do it. But what I will also add to that call is that I hope it will not be a way of arm twisting. Say, okay, for you to get this fund or for you to get this.
Let me take this. Hello?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Captain T. I'm watching you live here from Zaria, Kaduna State.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
I really appreciate your conversations this morning.
Yeah, but you've not told us your name?
My name is Abdul Samad Muhammad.
All right, Abdul Samad, you're welcome. Go on, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I really listened to some part of your conversation, and I'm highly interested, and it was nice. Mr. Presenter, you really did great in this conversation. But the other guest, I think he was trying to be biased. It's like he is 100% defending Mr. Minister.
Okay. Maybe you should leave assessing our contributions and just tell us how you read, how you feel concerning.
So actually, from the clips we saw on what happened, Mr. Minister really overreacted. He shouldn't have done what he did. In the first place, he shouldn't have come to the place. He should have used his power right from his office and call CDS, since he has the capability of doing so. Coming to the point is wrong, because anything can happen. These people holding arms, somebody that is not even from the scene can use his own arm and shoot. You know, our country is in a state of danger. We are not secure. So actually, minister can be just shot at that point. So I will, that's my contribution.
All right. So Abdul Samad, thank you very much for calling in, and I do hope that you enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I hope the weather is good in Zaria.
The weather is good. It's very
Hamatan?
good.
All right. Okay. Enjoy. Bye-bye. Thank you. All right. So that was Abdul Samad from Zaria saying the minister could have done it a little bit less dramatically. That he had a choice. He had the opportunity of even calling the CDS from his office. Yeah. So the line is open. Just you can follow in the steps of Abdul Samad while we listen to Eke here. Yeah.
Yes, we are talking about the media bailout. Let me use that word.
Yes. By bailout request. Correct.
Bailout request. Well, it's fine, but I just pray it's not going to be a way of telling them, if you want, give me good reporting. Don't investigate. I remember during. But
that's part of what he said. Give good reporting that does not damage.
We know how that fosters that does not damage. When we see the wrong thing, when we see corruption, and you say, you don't report it, because you know when if the government funds you, and you see negative thing about the president, or you will hardly the editors, you know. You are our boss. You know how it's done. You know, say you know this now. No, it's no. You know, it's not. But if it's a private organization, self-funded, yes, which I know that in Nigeria to self-fund the private media house is we all require this money to keep the place running. You know, but if this president will put a system in place that whether you get the money or not through me, just do a balanced report. I think that's
in fairness, they are not even asking for funding like that. They're not
tax
asking
relief.
For tax relief. They're asking for tax relief. You know, and they're asking for low interest loans.
It's part of funding. It's part of funding. I mean, low interest at maybe 10%,
yes, 5%
interest rate.
Yeah.
Interest rate, and just imagine a particular media house having like 10 billion naira. At 5% or 9% per annum. You know, it will go a long way. In such a media house, we don't have negative or anything. You will not see anything. So?
No, that's not true. That would be rubbishing the Nigerian media. We've seen this same media. We've seen several times, even in spite of maybe you think that they are hobnobbing or whatever, they still bring the truth to the table to a large extent.
Can you give me a story that a government-funded media institution reports negative of the person in charge?
Government funded.
Yes, government funded.
I've told you, we're not talking about government funding here. We're talking about tax relief. We're talking about asking for low interest rate.
Tax relief.
Yes.
You know, you should understand what they mean by tax. I remember there is a particular media house that had problem with one state governor in sometimes ago, and the state governor brought out some heavy duty tax. I don't want to mention the name of the media organization and the state in this same Nigeria. So I understand what I'm saying. Until that media house started lowering down the level of report on the governor.
Before
that issue, we just know from there we didn't hear anything about it again.
So you think that this request can frustrate the efficacy?
Yes, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think, for me, I think it's a business. If you want to have independent, if you look at I think there is a particular online newspaper that we say, okay, this is journalism, is this, you can donate for us to investigate. I think that should be the fine way, but actually requesting from Mr. President that he should, you know, do this, or we should have a system where I can walk in and borrow money without asking for favor from anybody.
But I mean, on a general note, do we agree that the cost of borrowing money in Nigeria is high? Is it agreed?
And so what media should ask for is, please, the cost of borrowing money, reduce that. Just as we are saying, the cost of business.
Low interest. So you're asking for low interest, that's it.
Low interest for who? Is it for just media in particular or for everybody? That is the thing. You know, we have bank of industry, bank of this, bank of that, bank of this. The media, maybe are they asking now for bank of media? Is that what they are asking for? So I don't think, for me, I don't think it's necessary. If we really want to do good reporting, they should look for money. Advertiser, you know, when adverts are coming in, is key to the media. Now, with the age of with the digital age now, there are so many ways media too can also make money, and which a particular media house is taking really advantage of that. About one or two of that in Nigeria, I believe. Those two media houses should not be part of those asking for money, because they are also making a lot of money in dollars from YouTube and co. We all know that. We see how they are doing it and stuff like that. So I don't think it's necessary for me as a media house. If they want to do credible reporting, if they want to do balanced reporting, if they want to do a report, they should not do that. They should not request that.
All right, so my guest here is saying, go look for money at whatever cost to do your business, so you can have you can retain your voice,
yes,
your independent voice. Well, that's his position. Maybe we move on to another issue this morning. The Federal Ministry of Education has outlawed the mother tongue policy. There was a policy until now where every location was supposed to encourage the use of the dominant language in that particular place for instruction. But they are saying now English language is the only language in which subjects will be taught or instructions will be passed. How do you see that?
Well, for me, I will support government for that policy, for the interests of those minority languages around, scattered, especially in the middle belt. I don't want to talk too much on this, because I may get emotional or go berserk on certain things, because my own language too is also threatened on
TV.
Yes, my own language too is also threatened by a particular major language, in Nigeria, because yes, there might be similarity in my language and but they are not the same. You understand now? And whenever you want to describe my language, you describe them with, because they are the major ethnic group in the country. So when you say a particular language should be taught or is compulsory for those people that have not come across them at a point, like when you say that okay, Hausa should be taught in Benue State, when majority of them have not even, they don't even understand Hausa, they don't speak Hausa, and you make it compulsory.
Where?
In Benue State.
No. In that kind of place, you probably will teach with TIV in the TIV environment, and then teach with
it's not like that.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I remember. Okay, let me give you an example. I remember going to my kids' school, telling them that I want them to do Yoruba class, and they told me that no, they are not going to do the Yoruba class, because this is not Yoruba side.
Correct.
It's going to be Hausa, and then so what
be Hausa, or yes, what do you call this other Baggy?
No, there is do they write Baggy in WAEC? There is no.
Well,
there is no Baggy in WAEC. There is no TV in WAEC. There is no Idoma in WAEC. What we have in WAEC is Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo. This policy, I remember while in secondary school, I chose Igbo to do Igbo, but because of the way the Igbo teacher was behaving, I quickly leave the class for her. I joined Yoruba class, and
so that means this issue can be very inflaming, as it were.
Yes, so
that's the reason why the government has
should just jettison it.
But you see, what does that do to the development of our languages?
Yeah, like they said, pre-nursery at home you speak. Yes, I know with the age of social media, and especially those in the city, it's difficult a little bit for our, let me say, Gen Z to really, especially those that to speak your language. It's a little bit difficult. There are so many ways where we teach language through films, through books. How many local channels are we having that speaks your language, even on satellite, this thing, that anywhere you are in the world, you can actually have your local language, for the Bible, because for news, for films, for books, we don't actually have that.
No, I do know that several tribes in Nigeria have projects, either ongoing projects or some concluded, that translates the Bible, for example.
Yes. Right now, plenty of them are doing that.
Plenty.
Yeah.
So, but one of the things, I think is it South Korea? One of the things that turned around their give them strength and a presence, an international presence, is the fact that they chose to teach in their own language.
Correct.
Now, is it not possible, even if you don't do TIV, for example, at WAEC, but if you can explain things, in the TIV language from what you teach, not necessarily saying that you should come and now dispense it in that language, but if you can explain, if you can teach in that don't you think that learning will be more effective?
Yes, I agree, because while I was in primary school, it was Yoruba that the teacher, even when I'm not Yoruba,
but you were in Lagos,
but I was in Ibadan.
Okay,
so
good.
It was Yoruba that was used in my primary one to teach me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
At the beginning,
Yes, at the beginning. Then ABCD. Then at primary 3, that was when English started coming in.
Which would have been some solid foundation, isn't it?
Yes, it was, because it also helped my phonetics when you understand.
It will help a better appreciation of the English language.
Yes,
it helps you.
So it helped, because I relate with the way the teacher. I remember Mrs. Kazin. Then she's late now. Will take us through with Yoruba language, A, B, C, D. You understand? I know it will help, but at the same time, some minority ethnic group or languages will also feel excluded when like places in Egon now, Egon in Nasarawa State, the Madas in Nasarawa State. How are they going to feel when their own children are not being taught in that kind of language? Because the policy the federal government is actually, which they've jettisoned, is actually 3 major languages: Hausa, Yoruba, English. At the same time, if we now make it compulsory, how many teachers that can teach science, that can teach maths?
I think that we need better clarity on this. I think that I think that the mother tongue policy was not something about just Yoruba, English, Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa.
It is.
I think that
it is.
I'll take time to go.
It is, because it was introduced during 6334 system of education. That was when.
But the final details was that the language that is predominant in the particular.
So in Yoruba, in the southwest, you are not going to have that problem.
No problem.
In the southeast, you are not going to have that problem.
Yes.
Okay, in River State, where you have the queries, you have
then you have the query language.
Then you have the Jaws.
Then when you have the Jaws, you speak.
When you move towards Indoni, when you move towards Indoni,
that's what it is supposed to be.
Okay, when you move to Delta, I'm
yes, you use Kwale. Then
Isoko
in Shekiri.
You use Shekiri to Urobo. Okay, now the question is this,
and so on.
Do you have,
because these languages should not die.
Okay, so government should now begin to train teachers to teach science, to teach physics, to teach chemistry, to teach mathematics in each language in Nigeria. And mind you, we have close to 400 ethnic.
If a nation could determine to teach this same subject that you've talked about in their own language, then it's not an impossibility. Let's quickly go to PDP.
Okay.
PDP insisting on going ahead with the convention this week, and in spite of conflicting orders of court.
To me, I feel that confusion is coming. More confusion is coming to PDP. More more. Expect more, because we have court orders in Abuja, we have court orders in Ibadan. You know, conflicting one. It's not that they aligned together. So more court orders, more things will happen. If at the end of the day, the person that went to court in Abuja is Sule Lamido, which is not in Wike's camp, then because he went to court saying that he didn't see the form to buy, that they should stop. If at the end of the day he wins, that means whatever thing they are going to do in Ibadan is waste, null and void. So I think right now the PDP should come together and just listen to what Bukola Saraki said. I read one statement, you know, that was said by him, that they should just form a caretaker committee and let them forget about all these and bring everything together and put the convention on a later date. That is, if not with what is going on, except Ibadan court order wins all through. But having seen what happened in River State, you know, this is how it started. Port Harcourt court is giving order, Abuja is giving. Abuja is giving, Port Harcourt is. At the end of it, the Abuja court order overrides state court, Port Harcourt court order. And at the end of the day, we all saw Fubara becoming like a dog that lost his tray. You know, so
that's not true. Okay. Now, so now, as we begin to round up, it's interesting how is it interesting? It's befuddling how the great PDP has become an ex-giant, and right now with clay foot, as it were. It's unfortunate how the travails it has gone through, and I think that should be a lesson to several politicians and party managers about the place of discipline, if you ask me, because if all you needed to do, you know how you quench fire, you remove the wood and then the fire quenches. If these right steps had been taken, no matter how strong, how tough those decisions were, like a year ago, and certain persons were simply taken out. If you ask me, I'm not in the party. I'm just an observer and all that. But there are 3 key persons or 2 that could have been removed, and by now, whatever ranting, whatever shaking, whatever noise making, whatever would have died down, and the party will go ahead and do what they have to do. In fact, several of the other crises that came would probably not have arisen. It's very unfortunate. As far as I'm concerned, I think that PDP didn't handle the crisis well from 2023, and this is what they get for it. And we also suffer for it, because if you don't have a credible opposition party, then what's the state of our democracy?
PDP did not handle the case well, because the Wike is going to be difficult to be removed, if I may understand the person, that 1 or 2 people that will have been sanctioned in PDP, because he plays by the rules. He might be wrong, but he plays by the rules. So removing him will also throw more confusion. What they just need is reconciliation.
Let me I don't know. No, see, you cannot reconcile if there are bad people who will not see eye to eye. What are you reconciling? It is this same reconciliation, from Saraki reconciliation team to Adolphus Wabara reconciliation team to this one, that has brought the party to its knees like this. Let me tell you, nobody is above a group. When the group really means business, nobody is above an association. Why would you say somebody will be difficult to remove? Even if we thought, you belong to an association. Yes. I belong to my town association. Yes. If one day they say 1, 2, 3 things on the basis of this, and sometimes they may not even explain anything, and say we think that your contributions are become of nuisance value, of negative value, we will need you to step out. You are expelled, and you are expelled. You can go and be making noise from outside. Okay, you probably take it to court, and then the party will manage itself.
You will expel. Who will now expel him? Is it those people that decamped from the party?
I'm not locating this on a particular person.
On a particular person, yes.
I'm saying
the problem is
they should have identified the people who were drawing the party in all kinds of directions, and who were not going to allow the party to have any direction as we currently have, and then take out a few of them.
Most of them are on waiver. Let me use that word, waiver in PDP, because they decamped from PDP to other political parties and they came back. And if you look at some of the constitution of PDP, some of them will need a waiver for them to contest even within PDP. You understand? So, and these same people cannot. So if people like Hassan Adamu are talking, these are the people that are,
but it's coming in too late. We've got to go. Ladies and gentlemen, Nigerians, wherever you're watching from, thank you so very much for the time we've shared together. It's been a wonderful time. I hope that you've planned your day using the information from the weather predictions, and I hope that you are enlightened and educated from the headlines and the analysis given by my guest and all that. Have a wonderful day. And I must say thank you. I never forget that. I say thank you to my production team. UK, big up. Bright, thank you. All the camera people, thank you so very much. And Chooks, thank you for coming.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll keep calling on you, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Right, and it's bye from Dayo Omogun. Bye-bye.